All right, hi, my name is Nick Ollrich, and I am the recent founder of Ollrich Design. As you can tell, this is kind of just the logo that I came up with. And here's the mission statement for the company. We are an interdisciplinary firm that offers a personalized, cost-effective approach to designing and retrofitting homes to provide energy efficiency while not sacrificing comfort and flexibility. Now that's a lot of words, right? It's very word-heavy, but everything in there kind of has a meaning. And so through this presentation, I hope you kind of come to understand what that means. So we'll start at the beginning here with the problem that I try to address. And this is kind of just a breakdown of energy use in America by sector. And the red is highlighted there as the residential sector. And some of these other commercial and industrial uses also incorporate building technology, but I'm going to focus on the residential. And as you can see on the bottom there, that ridiculous stat, 22.5 quadrillion BTUs annually, which equates to $490 billion. I don't think anyone knows what that means. So we'll try and compare that to the new Viking Stadium that's proposed to go up in Arden Hills. That would be approximately 445 of those new stadiums. So the problem that I see that we're facing in the residential sector is a little bit more than what Ziggy Wolf is dealing with right now. And as you can see over time, the expenditures and costs of different fuel sources has been rising over time. And in the residential sector, I see that problem as being poor efficiency in our house design overall, and that leads to high energy bills. And so this is kind of the problem that we're trying to solve with this firm. So let's move on to the solution. This is the part that I really get excited about because it's kind of the design, working with these systems, trying to incorporate them in a way that's sustainable, cost-effective, and really benefits everyone involved. So one of the big concepts that we use is the passive solar design concept, and it's kind of a difficult concept to wrap your head around. So I like these illustrations that were put together by this architecture firm, and it kind of shows the progression of housing design over the years. Started out with wood-burning stoves, and that's kind of being revitalized by Alex. And then we moved into this in the 20th century where we have a lot of components, a lot of HVAC, a lot of things going on, and we tried to solve our problems with that. And now in the 21st century, it's really taken off in Europe. They've developed this system of passive solar design, and it looks less at all of the components that are involved and looks more at heat transfer and thermodynamics and how the energy flows within the house. So some of the concepts that are involved with that is capturing the heat, and within their models, they look at capturing heat from people, from equipment, like even that heat lamp up there is giving off quite a bit of heat, and that's interesting when you think about the whole model. They have to account for that when they design these houses, how energy efficient they actually are. The ways that you retain that heat is by super insulating, reducing airflow losses by air infiltration, and then reducing thermal bridging. And that essentially means having conductors in series. So if you have studs, sheeting, nails coming in, energy can transfer through that. Heat energy can transfer through that. So it takes into account different aspects of thermodynamics in designing these houses. And other components involve control measures. So as we know, the angle of the sun changes throughout the year. And just by putting on an awning so that the summer sun is blocked and designing that especially so that winter sun can be allowed in. And on the other side, this is a really important component, is a heat recovery ventilation system. It circulates fresh air throughout the building, and it also acts as an exchange as the warm air leaving the building interacts with the cold air coming in, and there's a significant heat efficiency recovery there. And so we look at a couple of the energy saving studies by a variety of groups. Pretty well accepted is the total energy use is about 25% of that in a regular house for passive houses, and use for heating and cooling is about 10%. And at Ollrich Design, we also would like to incorporate alternative energy solutions so we can actually go net zero or beyond. And that would depend on the preferences of our customers. So looking more at some of the value, so the economic value to the customer, first of all, oftentimes the increased costs are about 5 to 10%, but that is recovered very quickly in 5 to 10 years. So you look at it more as an investment, and then after that, you're getting monthly benefits. From a functionality standpoint, it's a more simplistic design without all these different components, and so there's less maintenance and less maintenance costs. The structural integrity is greater than that of conventional design, and like I said, the air exchanger provides high air quality and comfort within the building at all times. So can you tell which of these houses here are passive solar designed houses? I would suggest that probably the one down in the corner, the futuristic looking one, is pretty obvious, and the one up here has some big, large south-facing windows. But actually all of them are passive house designs and have those attributes of energy savings that I talked about earlier. One of the other values that we would offer is an integrated design approach. So we interact with the customer throughout this design process to make sure that their values are captured in their final product. And this is kind of a summary statement of our social outcome. We want to use innovative design to incrementally reduce energy and environmental impacts on the housing market in America. And so some of the people that we've identified as being important in this process are, first of all, the customers. We identify these as people that are economically savvy, really look at their bills, their business savvy. They look at, they value reliability, and they are kind of risk averse. So this investment is very conservative. They're guaranteed to see their returns in the long run. And also people that are that care about the environment and have that kind of ecology value. So the way that we're going to begin identifying customers and interacting with them and finding out if they're interested in some of these designs or retrofits are these four different avenues, which I've spoken with some other designers, and this is kind of how they started out getting into the market. Some of the competitors would be typical construction firms, do-it-yourselfers, or people that are just too busy or are not that interested. They have a lot of other things going on. Some of our partners or resources that I've been using are the Passive House Institute in Germany. We have a US branch. I also included other construction companies because you might be able to partner with them on some of their projects if they want someone to consult on it. Of course, the Ollrich Institute, and then a couple of other design firms that are in the state, one in Duluth and one in the Twin Cities. And this venture would be in southern Minnesota, where there's kind of a lack in that market. And so finally, the next steps that I've identified are more market research in southern Minnesota to really tailor that marketing and advertising to the customers down there. Building those customer relationships through the four avenues that were shown, and continuing to investigate the best practice of the research. So thank you for your time, and I'll welcome any questions.